Okay, today I'm joined by Andrew Matthews, two-time Olympian for the Winter Olympics. All right, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man.
Good to see you again.
You too, man.
How you doing?
I'm well. I'm good.
Welcome back. Welcome
Thank you
back.
very much.
So, how did you find the last Winter Olympics just gone?
Well, this wasn't the result that we expected.
Yeah.
So it was a bit disappointing, or very disappointing. We set our standards very high. We were looking to come back with a medal.
Yeah.
If not, then at least the top 6 to be fighting. You know? So yeah, compared to Sochi, it was. I guess with the nerves weren't there as much.
Yeah.
We were just ready this time, but unfortunately, it wasn't the result that we wanted.
Okay. Do you find that there was a difference between the first Olympics and the second Olympics for you?
Preparation-wise, yes. I don't think Sochi. I don't think I was prepared as well physically.
Okay.
I think even just like everything, the food, the atmosphere. This one was a lot better. The atmosphere here was a lot better. It was like it felt like real. Last night Sochi didn't really feel real. You know? It's weird. It's kind of weird. I guess it's my first time there, so it was just a bit like.
Yeah.
It was different.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you get into bobsleighing anyway?
So as you know, I used to do track and field.
Yeah.
I raced you many times.
Many times.
It's just a career full of injuries, really. I'm a good junior athlete, but then as a senior athlete, I was injured pretty much every season.
Yeah.
I got to 2012. I did the Olympic trials, but I was way back. I was injured anyway.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of like, well, am I ever going to get a full-time job now, or am I just going to what am I going to do now? And then I had an email from one of the coaches at bobsleigh.
Okay.
It was like a generic email saying they were looking for athletes,
for
sprinters to come down and do bobsleigh. So at first I was like, what? Bobsleigh? Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not involved.
Yeah.
And then in the end, I ended up going down and doing some testing in Bath.
Okay.
And yeah, the rest is history, man.
So it was pretty smooth, the transition. How did you find the transition from track to?
It was tough.
Bobsleigh, really?
It was so tough, yeah. Because when you think about athletics, it's a very individual sport.
Yeah.
So from going from thinking about yourself to like a team sport where what you do has consequences on the rest of your team.
Yeah.
You could do like you being late, you doing this, doing that. It has a massive effect. So it's just so different. The temperature was another thing that killed me, man.
Yeah.
That was one of the reasons. At first, I was like, "Nah, I'm not doing bobsleigh."
Because of the cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a major thing, a major factor to me. I was like, "What am I doing here?
Yeah.
Why?"
I was going to ask you, what was the biggest obstacle for you, apart from the minus 20? What was the biggest obstacle that you've had to deal with?
I think being away from home.
Yeah.
We have like 6-month long seasons.
Okay.
When you think about it, so we leave. For example, this last season, I left in October the 4th, and then I didn't come back until after the Olympic Games. Well, I came back sporadically. Like I came back for like a week here and like 4 days there in between. I think it was a week at Christmas and another 4 days before the Olympics. We came back. But yeah, just being away from like family and friends, that was tough for me.
Okay, so the sled, I heard that it weighs a ton, like really heavy.
Not quite a ton, but it's 200 and a 4-man sled weighs about 220 kilos.
Okay.
So you're between 4 of you, it's not that heavy, but it's like you were pushing about 60 kilos each.
Okay. So the training for that, what type of training do you have to do to be able to push that sort of weight?
So it's quite similar to what I was doing for track and field, to be honest.
Okay.
So I was doing track sessions, strength and conditioning sessions, a lot of power, strength stuff in the gym.
Yeah.
So power cleans, squats. It's pretty similar, but I think I spent more time in the gym than I did on the track.
With
doing bobsleigh.
Okay.
Whereas on the track, I was probably in the gym like twice.
Okay.
Maybe, like max. Whereas with bobsleigh, I'm in there like 3-4 times a week.
Wow. So a typical week, what would it entail for you?
So you start the week let's get this right now. Start the week with strength.
Yeah.
On a Monday, then accelerations on a Tuesday.
Okay.
No, sorry, like a longer runs on a Tuesday, then
Okay.
back in the gym on a Wednesday, then acceleration on a Thursday, and then back in the gym for Friday. So it's just yeah.
It says non-stop, but yeah. So there's a lot of speed in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of speed. Yeah, you need the speed. You need accelerations more because that's what you're doing. You have to accelerate the sled from like 0 to like 50 kilometers an hour as quick as you can. So there's a lot of acceleration, a lot of sled pulls.
Yeah.
I guess like top speed. So compared to track, I think when I was running track, the furthest I'd run would be like a 300.
Yeah.
With this, the furthest I run in the summer is like a 120.
Okay.
I
would love that. I think every sprinter would love that sort of.
And that's very
lifestyle.
rare as well. So the majority of the time we're running 60s, 40s, 30s.
Okay. So do you find that a lot of sprinters join bobsleighing thinking, right, I'm a sprinter, this is going to be so easy, jump on the sled, jump on the ice and do this?
I think that is there. I think that's out there. I think a lot of people think it's coming to bobsleigh is going to be easy.
Yeah.
Nah.
It's not that.
I can say that firsthand. It's not easy. There's been people that have come and tried and failed.
Okay.
And that's just not because physically they can't do it, but it's the stuff that goes along with it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time spent in the garage.
Okay.
Which is that was new to me.
Yeah.
Like I said, with track and field, you come to the track, you turn up, you do your session, you go home. You turn up, you race, you go home. With bobsleigh, it's completely different. So you'll be, like I was saying to you earlier, I'll be in the garage up until 11, 12 o'clock, the night before a race.
Wow.
Doing stuff, making sure that it's all, that your equipment's good to go. You know? So it's tough. It's not just turning up to the track, pushing.
That sounds like a lot more work than it looks like.
It's a lot more than people think.
So what is the biggest fear when you go onto the ice?
I'd say crashing. Well, it was anyway. When I first started, it was crashing. You'd hear stories. Oh yeah, people tell you stories. Oh yeah, people smashed up at this track. You went to the track called Winterberg.
Yeah.
People got smashed up here and this and that. But once you actually go down and you've been in it and you get to the bottom, you think, oh, that weren't too bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes a bit rough. And as you spend, I've been doing it 6 years now.
Okay.
So my driver, I've been with the same driver pretty much the whole 6 years.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that every year, he's improved.
Okay.
So that fear of crashing now, it's not there. So now it's more of a fear of just not performing.
Okay.
To the best.
Okay. Yeah.
I think once you've crashed, I think your performance level goes up because you know what it's like to crash.
Okay. So you have crashed?
I've crashed. I have crashed. Yeah.
And what did that feel like?
Yeah, it hurts.
It hurts. Yeah.
It's rough. Again, it's not as bad as it looks.
Yeah.
It does look pretty bad.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. It's like if you think about you fall off your BMX.
Yeah.
Or you fall off your bike doing jumps, or it hurts initially, but then afterwards you get up, you shake it off, you go back to the top, you go again. There have been some bad crashes, but fortunately, thank the Lord, I've not had anything too serious.
It sounds pretty rough. I prefer the one lane. No one else is going to trouble you.
Yeah, exactly.
You just run in a straight line.
Don't worry about
that. That's sprinting for us.
We wear helmets for a start, so you're in some sort of danger when you have to wear a helmet in sport. So.
Yeah, it's true. Very, very true.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to an up-and-coming budding bobslayer?
Okay, so I'd say as an up-and-coming bobslayer, it's pretty much you just have to have the same focus you have as track and field.
Yeah.
It's the same sort of, it's a similar sort of training, like I said, but I think you need to also be ready to be involved in team sports and to do things that you do can affect your team.
Okay.
Like I said before, so it's not just about turning up and pushing as fast as you can.
Yeah.
It's about working what works for your teammates.
So you have to be in sync when you're pushing that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
You have to be in sync.
So it's not just about your power and your speed, everyone has to match up.
So you could have 3 of the fastest guys individual pushing, and they come together and their time isn't the fastest.
Okay.
So it's about how using different people's strengths.
Yeah.
So you've got some people that can accelerate really well over the first 15, but they're their top end isn't that great. But then if you've got someone on the sled whose top end is
Really good.
and their first 15 is not that great, then that's a kind of combination that you'd want to
balance out together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's interesting.
It's all those things. Yeah. All those things need to be thought about. So coaches have a tough job, really.
Yeah. Just trying to balance the people out together and get the right team.
Exactly.
I guess it's just like relays for sprints.
Yeah. It's literally just like that. So we one of our coaches, Michael Kamel, he used to be the relay coach, and he always, for Great Britain, and he always compares the relay to the format. It's the same amount of people. It's 4 people coming together to achieve one goal. And it's just finding the best combination. Sometimes the fastest 4 guys in a relay isn't going to be the quickest. It's who changes the pattern.
The best way, transitions.
Exactly, transitions. So it's kind of similar to the relay.
So what does the future hold for yourself?
At the moment, I've got a few things in the pipeline. I'm working in a school at the moment. Doing some mentoring. So I just work with kids who have issues in class, behaviour-wise, or just learning. I do some one-to-ones with them. So I'm back to that at the moment, but there's a few things lined up. Training.
All right, cool. All right, it was a pleasure to meet you today.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you very much.
Good seeing you again.
One question.
Okay, yes.
Just a favour. Can you kiss my lucky leg?
I've got to do this.
Nah, I'm joking. I'm just giving you banter.